So
Yeah, well, you can share.
we'll get started quickly today. Okay, so let me put this one. Just want to see it's here. Seem to have a blank one at the top. Okay, I'm just going to turn it off for a moment so we can just quickly chat, making sure that it actually works. So, good morning, everybody. Today is the 23rd of May, and I know we always start with the weather. So, it's come early winter to Johannesburg, and I guess it's the same down there with you, Meryl, in Ladysmith. And probably the same in Hague, but I saw Murray that the temperature didn't look too bad in Maritzburg, and I heard on the radio the other day. It's just the cold nights, isn't it? Um, so uh, to just say good morning to everybody, and first of all, a very, very big thank you to you, Bobby, for doing last week's presentation for us. I
It's
haven't
pleasure.
yet listened to it myself, but the responses have been very good. So I will go back and follow up on it straight after this meeting, actually. And so is our recording on, Rob? Yes.
Yeah.
So I wanted to just fill in just a little bit before I switch on the PowerPoint. Uh, Activities that have been going on this side of the world. So I wasn't with you last week because I attended the BNI National Conference, which was held here in Johannesburg. Next year, it will be in um, Port Elizabeth, Ngqeberha, however you say it. Obviously, one has to be a member of BNI to attend this event. But it was just when I was thinking about things before starting today, it's fascinating to me how many more um, uh, near life distributors I know of, one or two who have now discovered the the power of this organization. So all it is a networking organization, and it gives you the individual a chance to network with a lot of people from other businesses. It's a business networking organization. But what I wanted to focus on, and I want to draw your attention to, um, one of the key, there were two keynote speakers from the USA. And the main one, and I'll put this up for you on the group after the meeting, was a gentleman called Tim Roberts. You can think of Robert Ross, Tim Roberts, who is very high up in the BNI organization. And his he spoke about what so obviously BNI, it's Business Networking International, and we do network marketing. So you see the crossover. And he spoke specifically about how we can, using the power of what in BNI we call a one-to-one, or doing one-to-one presentations to people, can build your business. Obviously, when we are in any kind of networking, our focus is always on building relationships. Um, it's not about the next sale. It's about building that trust point with the next person. And once they trust you, they will trust what you are recommending. And so he gave some really good suggestions on how to be strategic when you're talking to people, which we can apply then to our network marketing strategies. So what I would suggest that if you are interested in hearing what he's saying, he's obviously focusing very much on BNI methodology, but he has a blog um, or one of these things that you listen to, and you could, as I start listening to him myself, I will share on the group for people anything I think is relevant. The second speaker was also from the States and was very much more a technical man, but I loved him. He does all the technical computer stuff for BNI. So, but fortunately for me, I didn't have to listen to that talk. He spoke about his own story, and we come back to that whole thing again of the story. Get your own story in mind, and then you share that with people. But what I loved about it was when I was at one point when that um, quite controversial, I think now, but still well-known book and video came out called The Secret. Um, I have the video, the DVD, and I presume it's still available. It must be available on YouTube. And I recommend that if you haven't watched it, you go and watch it because it's about this thing called the law of attraction, which seems very strange to be try and understand how it works. But Bobby, you were actually talking to me the other day about something which actually fits into the whole thing of the law of attraction, where when you focus so strongly on something, it starts coming to you. And his story was that he was trying to get his business off the ground. He was getting internet up and running about 15, 20 years ago. He was on the bones of his bum. He went and helped somebody to get their internet up and he refused to take payment, forgot to give them his card, rushed back with his card. And from there, he then had more work than he had actually ever planned on getting. So I just thought it'd be worth thinking about our own thinking and the power of giving and how you get back without expecting when it happens. And then the third one, which I'm going to brought me into today's training, was a speaker from the Eastern Cape who spoke about accountability. And I hear a lot about accountability in the school situation that I'm in. They're always talking about it. And I hadn't really thought about it in terms of myself. And it brought back, it really made me think about how I need to be accountable. And now you see all my emails because I haven't a clue where that thing went to. So let's share again. Let's see if I can find it. My PowerPoint has disappeared. And I don't know why after all this time, I can't get my, let's try again. So let's start again. Again, stopped. Okay, let's try and share again and find it. Because my PowerPoint was here and now it's just disappeared. And I'm sorry to do this to you. Let's go here, see if I can find it. I'm opening it up here. And today's topic is called working on our mindset. All right. Okay, so here I am. Can you all see that?
No, it hasn't come up yet.
Okay, is it not come up?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good to know. Let's try and get this just to go down a bit. Now I'm starting to get my panic button is going fast. Just please bear with me, everyone. I don't know how to get rid of it, Rob. Okay, here we go. Let's go there. Just try to do this, do that, do that, do that. It's not, I can't get rid of it. Sorry, everybody, just hold on a sec while I try to do this thing. So I've got it here and it's not showing up on your screens. And I don't know how to get this to escape. Maybe there we go, escape. Now let's come back to the meeting. Let's push share.
Here we go.
Sorry, got it. All right. Sorry. I don't know when one gets one degree in sharing things on the screen. Let's go here. Okay, where is it?
At the end of the slide it says.
How do I get it back on? Let's go here.
There's the first one.
Right, let's go there.
Okay, push it.
Okay,
there we go.
Okay, so just to fill you all in, thank you for your patience. And a special thanks to you, Bobby, for being so mindful of helping me. We do have a program in place, but we are flexible. And if something comes up in the question on the group in the week, we will shift as what we have more or less planned for the next session. But for today, so we are in the stage now of doing a business training and then following it up with a product training. And Bob, you can remind us at the end of the meeting what we have planned for next week, if you don't mind.
Sure.
So setting up the business mindset, and I just have already indicated to you that I was very impressed with things I heard last weekend. But I'm using the program that we have put together for ourselves, and I know it seems a lot repetitive, but I don't think we can stop repeating how important it is to keep on defining your why, setting your personal goals, and committing to the process. The why is something that continuously has to change, I've discovered. So when I originally started, I was earning so little money as a teacher, it wasn't very difficult to get to equal my teaching salary from Neolife. That was about 30 years ago. So last week we built belief in the products. Today we build belief in ourselves and the process. And in one sentence, what excites you the most about starting this business? Does anybody have any input they'd like to give us? Why are you here today? What was it at the beginning that excited you? You're welcome to shout out if you have any ideas. And so for some people, it's the products. It's the whole thing of being able to do something for the environment. For others, especially if you're a vegan, the skincare is certified as being organic. The products are the main thing that get people excited. And so, for example, I'm so grateful I've got these things for now for winter. So it's different for every individual. What I realized after Rory had spoken to us when he presented the business to us was that I loved the products that I was using. But he had presented it in such a way that I, for the first time in a long time, had a sense of hope that there was a way out of a hole. For others, it's the health, as I mentioned, and then for others, it's the chance of making some money. So those are the three main ones that come to my mind, but there might be other reasons. For other people, believe it or not, there are people who see this as a way to help other people, which is a really powerful thing to grab onto. And so I thought just for today, because it's quite a short presentation, I thought I've been thinking a lot recently about the pain point. At what point for each individual in whatever aspect of their lives do things become so painful that they have to change? And I think, not only speaking about myself and not pointing fingers at any single individual on the planet, but obviously in terms of my own other work experience as a teacher in the classroom, it's very difficult to understand what point do some people decide I'm now in too much pain, I have to change. And so this is where the talk on accountability last week struck me personally. If I go into my own personal impression or feeling on this whole point, no pun intended, is that we can often slip into a comfort zone. And it's very difficult for many of us, me particularly, to make that change out of the comfort zone if one wants to change one's life. So without getting too philosophical, I want to just put that idea into your heads for yourselves. Think about what is your pain point and what can you do? And it's not necessarily to do with Neolife, but it could be about your health. It could be about smoking. It could be about your financial situation and what can you do to change it, your living situation. There's no end of situations. And it just reminded me a long time ago at a Neolife presentation, and Murray, you remember this, and Bob, you might as well. The speaker ended the presentation by making the noise of a dog, and went, oh, and the story goes like this, that a man is sitting on a rocking chair, and he's talking to his neighbor, and he's rocking away there. And the neighbor says to the man, your dog is crying. What's wrong with it? And the man said to him, oh, he's sitting on a nail. And so I think the value of the story is this, is that we can be all sitting on our nails and we know those people are around us. They are complaining all the time, but many are not prepared to actually get up on a Saturday morning at 8:15 and come to the meeting. Now, I'm just joking, but you know what I'm saying. So we all have to be accountable for ourselves and for what we are up to with Neolife. One word that stood out, I know they have a special name for these diagrams. So accountability, values. I love the Neolife values stick out hugely. Honesty, ethics, our job, do we care? For our business, are we being accountable? Are we honesty? What are our core values back to? And then very, very important, the area of trust, to build trust with us, with the community and the people with whom we are working. So there just some ideas there for us to all think about on a deeper zone. So looking at the comfort zone where we feel safe and in control. And it's this whole fear zone that stops us. Lack of self-confidence, we find excuses, affected by others' opinions. What are we learning in Neolife? We have to be very conscious that we will hit rejection. And it's not you that's been rejected. Understand that the person you're speaking to is sitting in their fear zone. And then where we are with our group, we are in the learning zone, dealing with challenges and problems, acquiring new skills, extending out of our comfort zone. And then where we're all going into setting new goals, conquering our objectives, living our dreams, and finding purpose. And we are then on our way out of the comfort zone and into a brilliant new life, which we can achieve through the Neolife opportunity. So I was going to include something today on the back office. I think the best thing for you to do for the back office, I'm going to cop out on here, is to go in and have a look and just fiddle around with it, play with it. And you will find actually in the video section, which I didn't pick out for you last night, a step-by-step guide on using the back office. Ladies and gentlemen, we all must use our back office. If you don't keep your eye on your points, if you don't keep your eye on the training there is non-stop training, and the university activities. There's if you're going to decide to go into the Google ads or the Facebook ads, you don't have to make your own pictures. You can take straight off there. There's a ton of information for you. And so it's too big a subject for me on a Saturday morning to go through the whole thing on the back office, but please, just to remind you, you should be looking at it as often as possible. And also to have your, make sure you've got your personal website up on your phone so you can share that to any person you meet on your journey. You don't have to give them a business presentation. Just send them your website, and they can do their own order immediately. There's somebody in our team who is doing the Google ads, but what he is doing, he's sending on the Google ads, all he's doing is putting up his Neolife website. Never meets the people, but they are doing their own orders. So if you want to build a retail side of your business, think about getting that website of yours up and running and out there for people to do their own orders on. And so that's my presentation for today. So I hope that was useful for you. Are there any questions at this stage? Or put in the chat. Rob, do you remember the dog story?
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Very famous story that came out of Neolife trainings years ago. And I thought it just linked in very nicely for me today with for myself, that how easy it is to be the dog sitting on the nail. Meryl, Any comments? Monica Dube, any comments? Bobby, what is your take? Can't hear you, Bob. You're muted. You're muted, Bob.
Yeah, sorry, I'm just trying to get back. I
Okay.
was looking at another screen. Yeah, I think the one of the things, and even this week, just I mean that situation this week where you chatted to me about and the lady you've spoken to, and I've already got very good feedback from that. But I think the thing about the pain points as well is that what I think so often is we hear so much of this stuff, and the theory behind it. And I think it's only when we get into the practical stuff, and that's why even just the simple thing that you did this week, and the interaction I had with Tracy, brought a lot of that home. Is that we hear so much of what we should be doing, and if I just use the simple example, you said you asked me to give you a name, and what I did is I went back and I do actually have my list of um, email contacts, and I started to try and build that in each areas of my business. But the fact of the matter is one thing to have it, and just like you're talking about with the pain points is, and actually, yeah, this is the thing. I listened to a really good thing by the guy, it's a preacher guy, Jay John. I'll maybe relate that to you. But the whole thing is that, we have all this information happening around us. We know all of this stuff, but are we actually practically putting it into, everyday practice that we're actually doing it, like as you say, with the pain points and the example, as I say, simply try and move through it quite quickly. This guy gave is that, he was saying about this worker who'd gone into work every day and came out at the end of the day with his wheelbarrow and his little box on the thing. And the security asked him what's going on with the box. And he said, no, it's sawdust. So he checked the sawdust, and obviously the guy went on. And this went on for 3, 4, 5 days. And on the fifth day, the guy, he kept, each time he came out, what's this little box on your wheelbarrow? And the little box on the wheelbarrow, no, it's sawdust. It's just, we have this wasted work and I want to take it home with me. So, it's just the sawdust. So eventually on the fifth day, the security guy said, no, there's something going on here. Just there's something I'm not seeing. And and so the security guard said to the worker, well, I tell you what, just tell me what's going on. I think there's something going on here, but just tell me what's going on, because I do believe there's something happening, but I can't see it. And what are you stealing? Because that's effectively what he was saying. So the guy thought about it and he said, I can't tell you. Okay, well, I'm stealing wheelbarrows. So, you know, effectively, he was focusing on the little box and what's in the box, and he doesn't realize the actual that it's there right in front of him. He's taking wheelbarrows out every single day, and the security guy did not even see it. So I think so often we don't see all of those things that are around us. And as I say, like that you're talking about, as I say, with the what are people's pain points, and the very thing relates to what you were doing. Is I thought about it afterwards. The thing is, here is somebody I've known for a very long time. It's a very good friend of mine, and I haven't looked through. And I thought to myself, you said more information. I thought, well, okay, what more information? And maybe, if I had thought a little bit more about the background to where Casey was coming from, I might have found the pain point and been able to deal with it or to make use of it. So there's a very good example that happened this week.
Thanks, Bob. Okay, breakthrough. And thank you. Yeah. Yeah. And I think I also have to apologize for not having done a little bit more pushing. But Meryl, do you want to say something? I saw a flash there. Hermine, so thanks, Bob. I had heard that story about the wheelbarrow before, but I'd forgotten it. And it also just makes us also, I suppose, in a way, it leads my mind. Okay, so you're alluding, showing that we there's a thing called appearance versus reality. we don't actually see anything for the way it really is. I believe, that's my belief. Nothing is as it seems.
Yeah.
And people often put up big barriers to hide, for example, the pain. Some others,
Yeah.
it hangs out all over the show and you want to run away from it. But I'm not talking about anybody in this group, and I'm not making any thinking about making any direct comments about any person on the planet. But I think one of the things then we have to do, and I'm talking about me, and is as well, is just know that we have a message that is good, and we are not responsible for what the person does with the message. And that learning, I give full credit to Andre, who one day said to me, Monica, we are just messengers. But I think what we need to do from our conversation, Bob, and we can have this conversation with each one of us individually if you'd like, is what do we say? That's the big thing to start to get into your head. What do you say? So you're not here to solve any person's personal problems or whatever. What are we just giving them an offering? And would they be interested? And I think if we can get that thinking going and back into Monica's head as well, Monica Ross as and you, Monica Dubé, we can make a big difference to other people's lives. All right, I'm going to say just quickly the housekeeping for the week. One more week before month end. So, we all know that we're all supposed to have a target and a goal. We've already this month got one new senior manager in the team, Gavin. Congratulations. And we have a new person who has achieved their first 250 points. That is a lady called Sandy. And so we congratulate them if they get to listen to this recording. And we're looking forward to helping as many people as we can achieve their dreams and reach their goals and stay healthy at the same time. So I'm going to switch off there. Let me just turn off the recording, please, Rob. And then Johannesburg